Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Woo. I can't hear you. Yeah. Awesome. I love the energy. We're all here talking about DAOs, and we're all here, and we're excited about them. But what is a DAO? And how are DAOs revolutionary? And what's the next step that a DAO has to make to be adopted? Oh, need a bit more cable. Today, I will talk about how DAOs can become DACs. So first of all, I want to go over just a brief agenda for today. It's going to be very brief. I'm going to go over what a DAO is. Hopefully everyone here already knows, but this is just a brief refresher on what a DAO enables. I'll also talk about what problems does a DAO solve. Why are DAOs enacted, and what problems are they solving? I'll also talk about what problems DAOs create, and how a decentralized autonomous company can solve it. Oh, I have to be a bit closer. Let's start off. What is a DAO? More specifically, what does a DAO enable? A DAO enables decentralized collaboration. Now, what does that mean? It means that anyone from around the world, as long as you have an internet connection, can participate. You can join in, you can contribute your efforts into building that organization. A DAO also has governance built in. What that means is that the collaboration that you have, that you produce within the organization, you have a voice. Whether it be through governance tokens, voting power, and other means. You have a voice to change how a DAO operates. This wouldn't be possible without the third object of what a DAO is. Transparency. Without transparency, you're not able to see if in fact the vote was done. If everything is done how it should be. Without transparency, everything would be behind closed doors, and this organization would not be possible. And finally, the centerpiece of a decentralized autonomous organization is the automation. You don't have to trust any middleman. You interact with a smart contract. This smart contract has rules in place, governance rules, execution rules. This is what forms a decentralized autonomous organization. Now, what problems does a DAO solve? The main problem is, as I said before, the distributive. When looking at collaboration, a DAO forms a community across the globe. Again, all you need to contribute is an internet connection. This internet connection allows you to come in and participate, contribute in the governance and processes and operations for the future of the DAO. With smart contracts, with the decentralization and atomicity or automation, you're able to minimize the trust. There is little, if any, human involvement, and that's the ideal goal in which we're striving for. A DAO also provides many perspectives. When going in, we each have our own individual skills. Some of us here are developers. Some of us here are designers. Some of us here contribute more in certain areas. And so the DAO involves that individual skill and contributions that each person possesses. Finally, I know we'd all love to do this for free, but there is some incentives for contribution. With this in place, this is what the DAO solves. It runs on its own through its own governance processes. Now, there are problems of this variety. There are problems of a DAO, and it's more so to the core design of it. The first is that a DAO is inefficient. When looking at every person, every individual has a voice within a DAO. Every individual can come and contribute to the DAO. But what that means is that there needs to be a period of time for that contribution to occur. You have to wait hours, days, weeks in order for a decision to be made. In this case, you might not have hours, days, weeks. Crypto is changing. It's a rapidly changing environment. Even mere minutes can have drastic impact over the lifetime of an organization. Sometimes fast and agile decisions are the only option. Voter apathy. There are systems in place where users come in, and there are systems where they are rewarded based on their contributions and efforts. They have additional voting power. But when going into a decentralized autonomous organization, there might be tons of tasks, tons of votes in a period of time. This might be extended into minutes, into tasks that range from small, minor details to large infrastructural changes, all of which need to be made during a period of time, and all of which need to be made by all users of the organization up to a certain threshold. So what does this mean? Users are going to get overwhelmed with the amount of votes that are necessary in order to be cast. There's going to be, throughout the lifetime, less and less people will be incentivized for voting on 20 things per day. So there's that risk of voter apathy. Finally, not enough knowledge. I want to ask everyone, I think everyone came here by plane. Does everyone know, raise your hands if you know how a plane works. All right. I guess that's okay. But for people that know how a plane works, so, it flies, it goes up in the air, would you know the best decision to make? Who is the best pilot for a Boeing 747? Who is the best mechanic for the job? Let's put it to a vote. With this in mind, we might not know, we might not have all the information that's present in order to make those changes. With that community integration, there might be key decision makers that influence what decisions need to be made in a DAO. So what's the solution? A DAC. First, a DAC contains access permissions. During the DAC, you're able to specify concretely who gets to access specific smart contracts and their methods, whether it be an individual or a multi-sig. There can be a group, a decision based on collective or by individual. With this ability, you, the user, the owner of the business, get to decide how much control you get. You can specify who gets to make transactions in your chain. You get to specify who can modify those transactions as a transparent and effective way. You're able to see who owns these specific multi-sig, who can participate within them, who can make those protocol changes, all in a transparent fashion. Finally, we're looking at file systems. File systems and sharing of files has dramatically impacted business adoption and growth. having a way to share specific files to specific users that make those decisions is essential for the communication to take place within a decentralized autonomous company. Taking a look at management. In a decentralized autonomous company, you can assign specific voting power to specific users that are tailored to your business. What does that mean? It means that you get to control how much certain employees get in terms of making those key and concrete decisions, all transparently. You get to choose how much control you get in the organization. If you want, you have full DAO, open and permissive, DAO, permissionless, DAO-like governance. Or you can have closed and permissioned DAC governance as well. All within the DAC, there's a range. You don't get one form of candy and then that's it. You have a whole range to choose from how much control your company has. From open and permissionless to closed and permission, and anywhere in between. There is a management framework for any company. You need to have tooling in order to communicate effectively. You need to have finances, HR facilities. You need to have an ability to communicate in order to gain users' trust in that way, in order for people to understand what they are doing at what time. So having a management portal is essential within the DAC. Organizations are difficult. That's why there are templates for specific organizations. A charity is different from a for-profit company, is different from an organization, is different from a gaming company, is different from any company that is out there. We're all individuals. We all have our individual companies. So this is where we need to be non-restrictive. Open it up, have as much permissions as each DAC, decentralized autonomous company, desires. Finally, scalability. When looking at transparency, transparency is key. A DAC is built, a decentralized autonomous company is built on layer 2 optimistic rollup. This technology is built on top of Ethereum, layer 1, leverages the security, the decentralization, and the stability of the Ethereum network while maintaining the full transparency. Dividing the costs up by all transactions that are processed by the decentralized autonomous company. What this means is that each transaction is going to cost very little, and each transaction is going to pass very fast with high throughput. Now, there might be a question. Why are you building a different layer 2? There's already tons of optimistic rollups. Currently, no optimistic rollup contains multiple chains specific to each decentralized autonomous company. What this means is that each chain has its own permissions that each company sets. Again, from open and permissionless to closed and permissioned. A brief overview of DAOs versus DACs. Again, DAOs have basic governance functions, while DACs provide an entire enterprise resource planning tool. And DACs have all the, there's pictures, so I don't want to block the screen. There's all of these types of foundations for businesses to come onto blockchain in their own way. Give them the permissions. Yeah. Okay. And finally, I want to say that come join the DAC side. on Metis Layer 2 optimistic rollup. All right, that's the end. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pavel.